Welcome and good morning. This is our annual meeting Sunday. The annual meeting won't be part of the service, but it will be after the coffee break, I guess you might say. And hope that any friends who want to watch, but any members who want to participate will come back in here after the end of the service for the annual meeting. Come, whoever you are, holding various beliefs, whatever your skin color or national origin, whatever your age or gender identity, whatever your abilities, whomever you love, you are welcome at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Statesboro. You are welcome in this, our religious home. We extend a warm welcome to any visitors and guests. If there's anyone here who would like to introduce yourself or introduce someone else who's a guest, please do so now. Anyone? Well, we have a full crowd. Hey, there's
They're a little shy, but I'm just waving Haley and Anthony back in the corner.
welcome.
Welcome.
Morning. Welcome. And to anyone who is visiting, we hope that you would give us some contact information in our guest registry near the front entrance or on our website at www.uustatesboro.org so that we can send you more information about fellowship. Thank you, members and guests, for sharing your resources during our offertory later in the service, or you can also do that via the website. In the month of November, half of our offering that is not designated as pledge will be donated to the Statesboro Food Bank. Now I invite you to join with me in reciting our congregational affirmation.
Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Our worship leader this morning is our own minister, Samara.
Thank you, Val. Good morning.
Good morning.
So today's service is going to be a little bit different. And it might be a little bit longer than you're used to because we have some really wonderful things to share with you. So consider this, as always, an invitation to take care of yourself. You need to get up, stretch, walk around, that's fine. Or bear with us, and we have some really beautiful offerings for you today, starting with our chalice lighting, which is special today. Now, for anyone who is not aware, Transgender Day of Remembrance is celebrated annually on November 20th. So it's coming up this Thursday. And this community has a welcoming congregation team that is working actively and behind the scenes to renew your welcoming congregation status, which is now an annual process, because the work is always ongoing, right? The work is alive and changing. So we offer you these words as our chalice lighting. It's called Beacons by Reverend Kimmy Floyd Reich. And I read this on behalf of and dedicated to our trans beloveds here in this community and out in the world. It begins. Beloveds, we were never meant to hide in closets, and we were never to be spoken of in whispered corners by a world filled with others afraid of their own reflections. We are from the flame of Channing's truth, Olympia Brown's relentlessness, in Lou Alcott's defiance of societal expectations, and Thoreau's solitude of freedom of solitude. We are here, heirs of a theology that says love is love. The soul is not gendered. The covenants live in hearts, not courtrooms. Laws can be cruel and narrow, but our faith remains wide, widening still more until every child hears their pronouns in liturgies, and every parent of a trans child hears their entire congregation reflect back, "You are not alone." Say it with me. You are not alone in the face of your fears. We have always been here, from pulpits to picket lines, from the ancestors you called heretics to our kitchen tables where we sat with chosen families, speaking our truths into becoming real. This world may pass bans, overturn laws, rewrite constitutions, threaten us, but our marriages were holy before they were licensed, and our identities were sacred before we had names. Today, again, and every day, bless those coming out and those staying in. Bless the drag, bless the transitioning, bless the questioning, bless the kinfolk, bless our chosen families, and bless us, because we have faced ourselves, loved ourselves, saw ourselves, and we declare we are beauty and goodness and unicorns and a bit of rainbow and a lot of heart. We gather now in the wake of their efforts to erase, as a sign that we are not so easy to erase, and knowing that we are literally love becoming. We were never meant to hide. We were always meant to blaze. And now I hope you will turn to your neighbor and greet one another. Say hello, how do you do? And you tell us.
Say hi to Dave, he's watching.
And now is our story for all ages. I invite the young and young at heart, or anybody who'd like to just be closer to the screen, to come on up and have a seat while I read you the story when Aiden became a brother. All right, and then if it wants to come up, that's okay. It's okay. When Aiden Became a Brother by Kyle Lukoff, illustrated by Kehlani Juanita. When Aiden was born, everyone thought he was a girl. His parents gave him a pretty name. His room looked like a girl's room, and he wore clothes other girls liked wearing. But as Aiden got bigger, he hated the sound of his name. He felt like his room belonged to someone else, and he always ripped or stained his clothes accidentally on purpose. Everyone thought he was just a different kind of girl. Some girls had rooms full of science experiments and bug collections. Lots of girls didn't wear dresses. But Aiden didn't feel like any kind of girl. He was really another kind of boy. It was hard to tell his parents what he knew about himself, but it was even harder not to. It took everyone some time to adjust, and they learned a lot from other families with transgender kids like him. Aiden explored different ways of being a boy. He tried out lots of names until one stuck. They changed his bedroom into a place where he belonged. He also took much better care of his new clothes. Then one day, Mom and Dad had something to tell him. "I'm going to have a baby," Mom announced. "A baby?" Aiden said. "Does that mean I get to be the big brother?" "Of course," said Dad, ruffling his hair. Aiden thought that being a big brother was an important job for a boy like him. He wanted to make sure this baby would feel understood right away. The baby needed clothes, so Aiden and his mom went shopping. There were so many choices. Would the baby like seahorses or penguins better? "Are you having a boy or a girl?" asked a lady. Aiden didn't like it when people asked if he was a boy or a girl, and he hoped the baby couldn't hear yet. He was glad when Mom just smiled and said, "I'm having a baby." The baby's room needed to be painted, so Aiden and his dad went to the hardware store. Dad chose a gallon of sky blue paint, and Aiden added a puffy cloud white. "Are you excited for your new brother or sister?" asked the paint guy. "I'm excited to be a big brother," Aiden said. The paint guy looked confused. Aiden could tell that he wanted to ask a different question and was glad to have his dad there. The big rollers were fun to paint with. "This room feels just like being outside," Aiden exclaimed. He had always felt trapped in his bedroom before they fixed it, but his new sibling wouldn't have to feel that way. "You're right," said Dad. "Let's make some shapes in the clouds." Every baby needs a name. Aiden loved getting to choose his own, but he remembered that it had been hard for his parents to let go of the name they gave him. He looked for names that could fit this new person, no matter who they grow up to be. And I don't know if you can tell, but in the notebook there's names like moss and cloud and rain and river. Babies need someone to read to them, so Aiden practiced and practiced and practiced. Dad wanted to teach Aiden how to change diapers. Maybe later, said Aiden. He decided that picking flowers for his mom was way more important. 2 weeks before the baby's due date, Aiden started to worry. Maybe he should have picked different clothes. The blue walls might be too bright. He wished he could ask the baby which name they liked best. Mom came to tuck him in. "Are you feeling okay, sweetie?" she asked. Aiden put his hands over where he thought the baby's ears would be. "Do you think the baby will be happy with everything?" he whispered. "I don't want them to feel like I did when I was little, but what if I get everything wrong? What if I don't know how to be a good big brother?" Tom hugged him tight. When you were born, we didn't know you were going to be our son. We made some mistakes, but you helped us fix them. And you taught us how important it is to love someone for exactly who they are. This baby is so lucky to have you, and so are we. The next morning, Aiden found the boxes of his old baby pictures. He looked so different back then. It hadn't been easy, but he liked the boy he was growing into. Maybe everything wouldn't be perfect for this baby. Maybe he would have to fix mistakes he didn't even know he was making. And maybe that was okay. Aiden knew how to love someone, and that was the most important part of being a brother. The end. The balloons fell out instead of it's a girl or a boy. It says, it's a baby! The end. Well, we are going to do this children's affirmation together because it's true for all ages. Say it all with me, will you? And there's hand jives if you want. If you want to say it back there, you can. We're going to say the children's affirmation. Ready? We are Unitarian Universalists, people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. And instead of making the aisle, I think usually we make an aisle when there's like a passel of kids here that got to sing back to their classes, but let's just sing them to their classes, and it'll be the time that ending our story for all ages. Coming around. Do y'all want to be under the canopy of arms? Yeah? Okay, let's make a canopy of arms. Yeah, we gotta make a canopy of arms. Okay, ready?
Beneath our arms, we shelter you. You are our hearts as you pass through. May our Lord hug you as you grow, to help you learn and help you grow.
We have special music today, a song by Desiree Dawson called Mountaintops. That one is going
Well, it's not the only answer, no. are you leaving the lights on for? And how long do you plan on waiting?
So now is the time in our service when we invite you to contribute of your time or your treasure or your talents and the work of this congregation, both within and beyond these walls. If you would like to donate online, there is a QR code here. We also accept checks and so cash. Please feel free to chat with us after the service if instead of offering up your treasure, you would like to commit to time. And of course, attending the annual meeting after the congregation is a great way to do that. And if you're a visitor and what you watch, as Al said, it's a great way to learn more about the work of this congregation is doing. The offering will now be graciously accepted. Thank you. Oh, that's okay. Now I invite you into a moment of meditation or prayer or stillness. And I'll read some words for reflection into the still space. I invite you to absorb into your spirit, your muscles, into your bones. We are called by Natalie Fenimore. We are all called. Called by the wind, the rushing water, the fireflies, the summer sun. Called by the sidewalk, the playground, the laughing children, the street lights. Called by our appetites and gifts, our needs and challenges. Called by the bottle, the needle, the powder, the pill, the game, the bet, the need, the want, the pain, the cure, the love, the hope, the dream. Called by the spirit of love and hope and visions of God's purpose for our lives, we are all called. What do we choose? How do we answer? in some ways, holy no and sacred yes boil down in their essence to having and maintaining healthy theological and relational boundaries. But when I was starting to craft today's message, that idea seemed a little obvious, right? I mean, it's like that teacher in the show South Park who always says, drugs are bad, okay? Healthy boundaries are good, okay? I don't think anyone in this room, if you thought about it, would disagree with that assessment, right? And yet we are tested. We are tested, and when we are tested, the theory sometimes falls down in practice. The fact is, and this is a painful one for a lot of you, as author Stephen Covey put it, you can't think your way out of a situation you behaved your way into. Right? A quick survey, if you're willing to feel vulnerable. How many of you feel as if you're decently smart, street smart or book smart? You're pretty reasonable, you have a decent sense of how the world works, and yet you are either rapidly approaching or riding the raggedy edge of burnout or overwhelm. I see some sheepish. It's okay, y'all are not alone, clearly. I think it's safe to say there are, at least for the sake of our discussion today, there are generally two sources of that, right? The inner influences and the outer influences. On the one hand, creating overwhelm and burnout in the people is a time-tested method of maintaining control and maintaining the status quo and keeping the power where it lies, in the hands of the few. Okay? That's the outer influence. And on the other hand, every person is confronted with the impact of their own actions and their own choices, how we engage in relationship, right? That's the inner. That's the inner. And we don't always make the best choices for any of 1,000 reasons, right? I saw Hadestown again last week. This musical is one of my sacred texts, and I return to the soundtrack again and again for inspiration and soulful grounding. Now, for those who don't know, Hadestown is a modern retelling of the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. It includes a haunting song called Doubt Comes In. After Orpheus has asked King Hades, king of the underworld, if he can bring his beloved Eurydice up and out of the underworld and back home to the land of the living, King Hades is confronted with two uncomfortable options. Either let them go and risk losing control by appearing spineless or weak, or make her stay and risk losing control by appearing heartless, thus creating a martyr. Either way creates a rallying point or potential rallying point for resistance by the masses, over which Hades currently enjoys a comfortable dragon's hoard of power. But the fates, as they will, remind Hades that humans are flawed. And they're flawed in a particular way that could result in them being susceptible to the unraveling of any dissidence before it even starts. Self-doubt. If Hades can create a situation in which Orpheus can unmake his own resistance, then he's set. Hades is set, right? He creates a test in which Orpheus can leave with Eurydice conditionally, as long as they return to the land of the living in single file, with Orpheus in front and Eurydice behind, where he can't see her. And the deal is, he is not allowed to look back even once to see if she's following. If he does, the deal's off. She stays and he goes on alone. If he makes it, they can be together. Hades knows, as the fates reminded him, that as long as humans are divided, distracted, or doubtful, humans can be easily and predictably controlled when doubt comes in. The systems in place rely on maintaining the status quo. The realization of beloved community, which is a goal of our shared values as Unitarian Universalists, relies on changing the status quo. In my last life as a marketing consultant, last metaphorical life, not last literal life, I was working with the C-suite of a startup company, and the CIO kept saying things like throughout the year, he would say, like, when we get through project X or task Y or website Z, things will slow down. Things will get better. Bless his heart. A quote that gained popularity in 12-step circles: the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. I think on some level he knew he was kidding himself, but nobody was willing to do things differently. And so nothing changed. Because until we are willing to address the how, the what stays the same. If you want things to change, you have to be willing to do things differently. It starts with the thing you have the most power and influence over: your own actions, your inner life, your decisions, and how you curate and steward your relationship and your community. The microcosm affects the macrocosm, and vice versa. Now, there are two simple ingredients to pay attention to in the formula for change by nurturing your holy no and your sacred yes: space and time. Sneeze on the trick. Okay, but really, Prentice Hemphill said, boundaries are the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously. Space is an element of healthy boundaries. Finding the right distance between you and your relations to promote vitality and functionality. There is a part of this that has to do with your inner accountability to your own actions, to your own behaviors, needs, and your willingness to be in accountable relationship with others, owning the impact of your actions and contributing to the thriving of the whole in ways that are unique to your skills and capacities. I've been in groups of young activists who seem to have an innate understanding of how to respect the work with healthy boundaries and with sustainable action. They would bow out of an action that was not in their capacity at that particular time of year or whenever. And everybody respected their choice without question, without doubt. It was a kind of shared leadership that was awe-inspiring to my Gen X sensibilities. Respecting your own autonomy goes part and parcel with respecting others' autonomy as well. It's a kind of discernment that may change from day to day, maybe even hour to hour. But learning how to say no and yes from the vantage point of an engaged relationship with your own values and a willingness to be in relationship with others doing the same is a way to love both yourself and others simultaneously. It's one path to living by holy no and sacred yes. Abuse of our understanding of space and distance from each other, either too much space or not enough, can subvert our understanding, can deflect our connection to that holy no and sacred yes. Time is also an element, and this one can be tricky because influencing our sense of time and the cost of spending it the way we do is one of the ways that systems maintain control, cultivate doubt. Think about the current poly crisis at play in our world. How do you respond? There's no right answer, because the game is rigged. But there is no wrong answer either. It's what we use to decide how we move forward that shifts the balance of power back to the people. Adrienne Marie Brown talks in several of her books about moving at the speed of trust. Urgency and reactivity may propel us toward action and a feeling that we must act at any cost because it feels like stopping or slowing down will cause everything to fall apart. The tragic irony is that acting from urgency does more to maintain the status quo than it does to effect lasting change. And if my own paltry studies of human history have taught me anything, it's that things are always falling apart anyway, and being put back together all the time. Creation is not static. Almost everything is a construct of someone's imagination. And much of what is in place today, as Adrienne Marie Brown notes, is as follows, quote, "We live and die inside of systems that were imagined centuries ago by ambitious and narrow minds of colonists and patriarchs. We live inside the lineage of relatively ignorant imaginations which were obsessed with protection and domination. But we know so much more now. We know each other's pain and complexity now. We know we are one interconnected ecosystem." End quote. Like any living ecosystem, there is growth and decay and rebirth at every level. Every cell in your body is new every 7 years. You think you're the same person in this moment as you were 4 months ago? 4 minutes ago? Participating in that living process is a gift, a challenge, and possibly our only responsibility on this planet. What problem most grieves and inspires you to respond, as A.M.B. puts it? Do that thing. Doing so as consciously as we can, mindful of prioritizing our relationships, our impact, our values, is what makes our yes and our no both holy and sacred. It is holy and sacred work being alive. And we are finite beings. I'm sorry, was that a spoiler to anybody here? We are limited. And I say hallelujah and thank all that is holy for our finitude. Because it is the combination of our limitations and our yearning for wholeness that impels us towards each other, towards collectivity and communality, that calls us home to each other, to where the power of collective love and action can move mountains one spoonful of dirt at a time. Resisting the urgency means putting your agency, your values, and your relationships back in the driver's seat of your actions. What makes it a holy no or a sacred yes, as I have said and I will repeat, is that your actions are discerned through thoughtful reflection and discernment of how you are in relation to your values and each other. And it's always rooted in love. No can be gentle. No can be an act of love. Yes can be full-hearted and authentic rather than desperate or haphazard. A holy no and a sacred yes are parts of a sustainable balance between your needs and the needs of your community, which may have been pitted against each other in your mind because of all the ways that we have been educated and convinced to believe that our isolation is necessary, that our individualism is supreme. And when we understand that everyone's liberation is tied up with our own, it becomes a bit easier to understand that yes is not always sacred yes. And sometimes we are profligate with our spending of yes, and this takes us ultimately away from each other and from ourselves, disconnecting us from both inward and collective forms of accountability. And a holy no, offered with love, always with love, and rooted in our values, is part of collective wellness and healing and liberation. Our relationships, the way we grow together, learn to trust, to make mistakes, to fail and learn and lean on each other and hold each other and ourselves accountable for our actions. This is the heart and soul of reclaiming our senses of ourselves and each other from the urgency swirling all around. And holy no and sacred yes are two parts of the same mechanism in that respect. Like a muscle that flexes and releases in turn. Or if you like car metaphors, an accelerator and a brake pedal that must be used in partnership and with intention in order to move the car and you along the journey. Activist and scholar Grace Lee Boggs said, "We transform ourselves to transform the world." It's the holy work of a lifetime. Both yes and no as acts of love. They can be gentle or they can be fierce, and it doesn't always feel good, y'all. It just doesn't. It's not always easy. It is what it is. And there are times also when it may be effortless, or it will at least begin to feel more natural, and sometimes it will even feel nourishing and soul-filling, and we will get to enjoy the fruits of these labors, and that is glorious and beautiful and wonderful for as long as that lasts. And when our values call us toward the building of beloved community, whether you think of that as a just and equitable human society or harmonious interdependence among all the systems and beings of the earth, the fruits of these labors will not be felt in our lifetimes. We are today, each of us, called to carry our spoonfuls of dirt that might move the mountain in 50 years or 100 years or 300 or 600 years. Our own satisfaction and gratification must come in the doing of the work, in the joy we find with each other along the way, knowing what it is we are working for, what we are building, what our efforts are calling us to build, what we are contributing to. That justice is a realizable goal in human systems. That there is enough food for everybody when nobody takes too much. That there is enough meaningful work and connection and community for every person. That there is enough room on this planet for all life to thrive, and that big change is in the works to get there. We only need to move our spoonfuls of dirt to eventually move the mountain. Because you have the choice, as the song puts it. When you meet your voice, the mountaintops await your arrival, your fullness, and not just survival. So why am I telling you these words on this day? Because, beloveds, it is an era of increasing urgency and testing and pressure, a pressure that some of us have felt their whole lives, their whole lineages, and others of us are just awakening to as the vice of power is tightened on the people more each day. This is a time of testing for our species, for our country, even for this community, as you enter the annual period of collective discernment about how you will move forward together with leadership transition and all of that, right? You will make mistakes, and you will help each other to correct them, just like Aiden. You get to determine again and again how you will answer the call of your values based on your unique skills and capacities, and how those uniquenesses add up and connect together and interrelate to create a spiritual family. Choosing to root in your values in everything you do, even when it feels hard, especially when it feels hard, is an act of liberation. Where are you most grieved and inspired? Do that. Claiming your agency in the face of urgency. Being willing to prioritize the well-being of all, including yourself, over your own individual personal comfort or even of your singular thriving, even on an incredibly microcosmic scale of a single choice in a given moment, is part of how collective liberation is done, is being done, has always been done. To embrace the sacred yes of what your values call you to do, and to say a holy hell no to anything less than the thriving of all. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We are born into something greater than ourselves. Our only job is to act like it. Blessed becoming to us all. Amen. Amen. We're going to sing a song together. Please rise in body or spirit for hymn number 311 in your gray hymnal, and we can give you a moment to find that. Let it be a dance.
Without the dark there is no light. Nothing's wrong and nothing's right. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, share the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
I invite anyone who has a joy or sorrow they would like to share with this community, and I will remind you of the internet. Please come up and feel welcome to light a candle or drop a stone in the bowl. Because we are streaming publicly, we ask that you consider for yourself whether what you want to share is private or not, and if it is private, please feel welcome to come to Sherry or Michael or myself, your pastoral care team, after the service, and we will hold space for you. Does anybody have anything to share?
I'm Rebecca. I had a weekend rich in the arts. Thursday night I saw a wonderful production of As You Like It. Friday night I saw a cute little production called the Best Christmas Pageant Ever. And last night I heard a wonderful organ concert, and I'm very thankful for the arts in my life.
Okay, good morning. This song that we just sang, I could not stand up here and tell you guys this. 40 years ago this day, on November 16th, 1985, I went out with a friend. We were working together on that. We were reporters for the National Tennessee, and we just started this series on all the options for someone who had an unwanted pregnancy. And I had this person's name on my list to call to interview. She was a lobbyist for Planned Parenthood, and I could not find her. We didn't have Google, and her office wasn't called Planned Parenthood. It was this other name, and I couldn't find her. So my reporter friend and I said, okay, it was 11 o'clock at night. She talked me into going to this nightclub kind of place in Nashville to hear a band play, the A Train. So we got there, and the music was great. This woman was dancing, only person on the dance floor. I fell in love with this person. I got up and danced with her, and I didn't know who she was till I sat back down, and my friend Renee said, I said, do you know who that woman is? And she said, that's Dixie Aubrey. And I was like, oh my God. Well, I wasn't looking for a woman's partner, and Dixie was not either. I was 25, she was 41. All the odds were against us. And I have to say, 40 years later, and we're dancing yet. Though at times we might stop to rest. And we would not, I'm confident that we would not have made it without this fellowship. 30 of our 40 years, this has been our spiritual home, our religious home. And there are so many people in this room who have been there for us through surgeries, and our grandson died. Since we've been together, our parents have died, our brothers have died, and so many friends we've made, and so much love we have felt, and I hope we have given. And I'm so grateful that we're here and that we had this message today. Thank you so much.
I'm sure as we go back up to happy everybody. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Can you light a candle for the Supreme Court deciding not to hear the Riverdale case again?
Lighting a candle for the Supreme Court,
Not not hearing the challenge to avert a felon, please?
That's the gay marriage.
Yeah, that's the gay marriage court case. They decided not to hear the challenge.
So not hearing the challenge is a good thing.
It is great.
It is.
And with intense joy.
Yeah, there's no way they've done right and well.
I'm Sherry, and I'm here to share with you some information about congregants. First, I want to say thank you to Cynthia. Cynthia and her helpers like John, who took care of our plants, our portable plants when the weather changed next week. So thank you for being on the job and taking care of that for us. I also wanted to share with you, I spoke with Donna Jones this morning. You know, Donna usually sitting in the very back corner, but Donna was in the hospital this week. She is back home again, but a little weak, so I'll get a card out. So after service, when you get your coffee, come back by and sign the card for Donna. She's at home and getting stronger, and I told her I would light a candle for her this morning. One more I want to mention for you. Many of the folks who've been here a few years will remember Janice Cawthorn, served on the board. Janice is dealing with Parkinson's. She and her daughter decided she moved away, but she's back in Statesboro and would like to get visitors. She's at Eagle Rehab on South Main, used to be called Browns. So if you have time and ability, and I'll also bring a card down front for Janice. So sign the card for Janice. Thank you all.
Good morning, everybody. I have a concern from Dave Mooney. He wrote, "One concern was the announcement of a large shopping center across from the church. Hope it does not change the neighborhood." Light a candle.
Anybody else?
For those of you that don't know, I was in foster care for the last 4 years, and over the last couple of months, I spent a lot of time discerning if this was the role that I really wanted or needed to stay in. And so a couple of weeks ago, I put in my notice so that I can transition to a different job in a slightly adjacent field and kind of do some career realignment. But this is my last week at my current role, and it's kind of a melancholic feeling. I've been here for a really long time and developed a lot of really deep relationships with the foster families that I work with and the kids that I work with, and a lot of my coworkers. We've been together for 4 years now, and it's the longest place I've ever. It's the longest. How do I use words? It's the longest place I've ever worked anywhere, which says a lot because my early 20s were very characterized by like either quitting last minute or like getting fired. So this job has really been a place of stability for me, and I have a lot of really complex feelings about leaving. But one of the big reasons that I chose to leave was that I was just really burned out in the field, and the position that I'm in is not really conducive for having a super healthy work-life balance. So I'm really like trying to prioritize like my own well-being as I do in this. You just preached about that too. But anyway, this is a candle of dedication for the work that I've done in this role and for the journey yet to come.
I will light one more candle for the joys and concerns we carry in the tender quiet of our hearts. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our choral invocation to prayer, Spirit of Life.
together the words of our chalice extinguishing.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Thank you. You can be seated for announcements. We have a few things to announce I know about, and we'll open the floor to anybody else.
Just to let everyone know, we had a little technical difficulty with the youth event recently, so we're going to redo it this coming Sunday. So if you have somebody that wants to attend, see myself or Abby. And we're again going to do those really healthy sandwiches, PB&Js and bologna, so they don't want to miss that. So, thank you. That'll be next Sunday, I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Barb, and I'd just like to let you all know that there's there's a bucket of satsumas in the kitchen on the side table from our tree that we have harvested for the freeze, but they are pretty sweet, so please help yourselves to as many. Thanks very much. Have someone else?
We're gonna retry the ecology walk. The last time I had it scheduled, only a couple people were able to go, so we're gonna try it again in either the first or second week in December. So far, I don't have a specified date, so if anyone does have a conflict on either of those days, let me know. Sorry, I couldn't get it done last time.
And will you say your name so that people online can hear who's
Mary Nell Armstrong.
Thank you.
What day? Oh, Saturday. Saturday, either the first or second weekend in December. Thank you.
The annual meeting is after coffee.
Yes, do you want to announce, or shall I remind folks and thank folks? Spinning and asked us last week to bring goods that her school is collecting for folks in Jamaica recovering from the hurricane. Thank you, everybody who remembered. They're right outside the door. If you did not remember and want to put a few bucks in there, there'll be a little basket next to it. Okay? Thank you.
So I was talking with a couple people about it last week. I do have a little interest form out there if you'll leave your email and name if possible. I'm sure from the looking possibly starting a local Democratic Socialist of America chapter here in Statesboro. But right now the chapter pipeline is closed, I think because of all the last election, so there's a lot of interest. So it's a good time to get started on that. But just leave your email and name if you're interested in that, and we'd love to go forward from there. We get cool union-made shirts. You sign up now.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that stands for?
You want
It's like a Y2K style shirt. It's Democratic Socialist of America.
You want to do it, or you want me to do it, Logan?
What?
He wants you to tell people about what the Democratic Socialists of America are.
Oh, okay. You go ahead.
Hi, Logan didn't tell me about this, but I'll do it too, because yeah, DSA is lit. Democratic Socialists of America, you may have heard them mentioned in association with Bernie Sanders or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They are slightly to the left party of the Democrats, very progressive, and they basically stand for what you would think of as European Nordic style progressive politics. So still democratic, still sort of capitalist in their economics, but very workers' rights. We can argue, but it's taking that step to the left if you're a Rocky Horror fan. It's moving politics a little bit to the left of the Democratic Party and trying to get more progressive politics on. And also, if you're kind of into that, that's what they're about.
So yeah, we're just looking to doing a lot of stuff like service within the community as well, kind of like continuing the same mission here.
Pro workers' rights, pro union, pro universal health care, things like that.
Thank you.
If I understand correctly, Mayor Zora Bongani is
Yeah,
recently
Zoran
from New
Bongani
York.
out of New York
Is,
City, the
associated with
Democratic Socialist. Yeah.
One last thing. If you didn't read Rice Connect the Statesboro Herald and have questions about the possible rezone across the street, I'll talk to Logan about it. I'll do that. He knows more details than I do at this point.
I have a little bit of housekeeping. There is a community, I don't need this. There is a community conversation on the calendar in which we have advertised for Tuesday, this Tuesday, November 18th. I have just very recently learned that we do not have the materials to move forward with the original plan. So we'll still meet, and I think maybe we'll just figure out over the next afternoon what we're actually gonna do with that time. Anybody have any questions
What
about
was the
that?
original plan? I didn't hear.
We were going to, the invitation was to read chapter 5 of Mistakes and Miracles, and the reason we can't is the 2 books that I bought for the church that I was going to allow, so people wouldn't have to buy their own copy, were returned to the shipping place as undeliverable, and I just learned that on Friday. So nobody has had a chance to read the thing, so we're gonna talk about it another time.
What time?
6 p.m. It should be on the calendar. I will double check, but it's Tuesday evening for sure. Yeah, 6 p.m. Oh yeah, Mo is my other half of my brain today. Okay. Did I get everything? Yeah. Okay. Then we will sing our benediction together with the caveat. It is number 6 in the Great Hymnal. There is one line in the 3rd verse that has aged like milk, and we are going to revise it. And so that's what it is here. This is not the 1st verse, this is the 3rd verse. So follow along in your books at home. And if you're online, I don't have a solution for you, but I might be able to send a link. We'll listen to the choir. That's what we'll do. We'll listen to the choir, and here's the new phrasing of that line in the 3rd verse. Y'all see that okay? Okay. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our benediction. Blessed be, amen, ashe, and happy coffee drinking.
After we start the meeting, yes, the